a 3-story home that is over 3,500 years old with advanced plumbing technology that would not be seen again until 1,500 years later in the Roman Empire, and is renowned for beautiful frescoes that survived earthquakes and a major volcanic eruption. This is Veronica from History Victorum. Join us as we visit the West House in the ancient city of Akrotiri in Santorini, Greece. About 1500 BC, the volcano on Thera, present-day Santorini, erupted. The city of Akrotiri was buried in ash. It is believed that the residents of the city had fled following earthquakes that preceded the eruption. Human remains have not been found on the site, and there is evidence that repairs were being made to buildings within the city at the time of the eruption. Named after its location within the city, the West House is a large, wealthy home facing an open space in the city known as Triangle Square. The house is a 3-story home and freestanding building. There were 16 rooms in the house, with 8 on the ground floor, 7 in the upper floor, and 1 room on the very top floor. The entry to the house is here, where you are met by a small lobby area with a door to the left for ground floor access and a second door providing access to the staircases. This is a typical entry point in Akrotiri homes. At the time of the excavation, they found the imprint of the door having been shut. It was a wooden door, which is why after thousands of years, only the imprint was found. We'll first look at the ground floor before we explore the upstairs. The ground floor was made up of 8 rooms at a slope, with the entry at the highest ground and the lowest level being on the same side as the entry door and opposite end, facing Triangle Square. The rooms to the back of the house were also at a higher level, averaging a difference of 2 to 3 steps between rooms. It is believed this is due to the sloping ground and movement from the seismic activity in the region. The rooms were small, unlit rooms that ranged in size and ceiling height due to the unleveled ground. They were arranged in a way that there was only one way of traffic. For example, if you wanted to reach the kitchen in the back, then you would have to walk through multiple rooms before arriving in the kitchen. It is believed these were working and storage quarters, since they found various tools including grinding mills, basins, and silver molding tools. In the back of the house, a number of cooking utensils and vases were located, as well as a staircase. It is believed that food was prepared downstairs in the back of the house and then taken upstairs using these service stairs. Here in this room, they found 3 millstones sunk into a bench that were used for grinding flour. In the very corner here, the lowest point of the building, this room had a stone mortar, pounder grinders, stone tools, cooking pots filled with an unidentified substance which they believe is possibly emery for polishing. And here, in this back room, in the very corner, pots containing barley, peas, lentils, and a crop used to make fava, which is popular on the island today, were found. This back room over here was a storage room where they found a bench, 2 pots, a number of vases, 100 cups, stone lamp like this one here in the museum, stone tools, and 26 lead discs used as weights. The staircase from the lobby was well lit by large windows on each floor, such as this one above the main entrance. As was the practice in Akrotiri, there was a middle landing to access an intermediate level room. So you had one staircase coming up, a middle landing, and then you made a turn to then go up a few more steps to the next floor. Unlike the ground floor, the rooms on the upper story were leveled. The upper floor had a wooden landing, which leads into the largest room in the house, with a large window overlooking Triangle Square and a column in the center of the room. This is the second largest room found to date in Akrotiri and is referred to as Room 3. In this room, a number of loom weights were found. This has led many to believe that many of the daily activities took place in this room, including weaving. From the entry into Room 3, you had to cross diagonally to reach the other doorway leading into a room to the back of the house. This is referred to as Room 5, which is also the entry into the more luxurious part of the home. This room had 4 windows facing the alleyway and 4 facing the back of the building. This room contained the fresco of the fisherman and a number of cupboards. This room was considered living quarters with red painted slabs on the floor. It also had a miniature frieze. A tripod vessel with dolphins was located here, which could have been a religious offering table, or it could have been a decorated bowl to store food at banquets. The flotilla fresco was located on the upper part of 3 walls in this room, above the door. All walls had friezes except for the west wall. This scene here shows the fleet sailing past a small town and arriving at another. It is believed that these could be people from Crete. There also seems to be a scene showing a naval battle, and warriors wearing boar's tusk helmets similar to these from Mycenae. This here shows 2 different people, meaning possibly signing a treaty. The east wall showed a frieze of a land with wild animals and a river. It is believed that this could have been Egypt. There is a doorway leading towards the front of the house out of room 5 and into what is considered room 4, which faces the triangle square. The room had wall paintings depicting captain's cabins, while the wall by the alley had flower pots. Diagonally across from the entry of the room in the very far corner was a small closed-off area separated from the room by a clay partition wall. This was the lavatory. The lavatory is made up of 2 stone benches with a gap in between. At the bottom of the gap was an opening to the clay pipe that collected the waste. The lavatory here in the West House had clay pipes connecting down to a tank that was separated from the house, which would have stopped any scents from coming into the house from the tank, and then would move it into the public sewage system. The tank was as wide as the alley and connected directly into the sewage system. The public sewage system ran under the streets of Akrotiri towards the south, just like it does here, at a 2% incline and faced towards the sea. In this room, they also located a bathtub, a bronze tripod offering table, a bronze tripod vessel, and pots containing red pigments and plaster. It is believed that these pigments and plaster may have been part of the redecorating or reconstruction due to previous earthquakes. Heading back out of the room and through room 5, we reach a doorway at the very back of the house that leads to a small room. This room is referred to as room 7 and was considered to be used for storage, with a cupboard connected to the kitchen to the upper story via the service stairs, and was a corridor to access the intermediate level room that was accessed by the main staircase. Room 6, which was the intermediate level room at the very back corner behind the stairs, is believed to have been used as a storage room due to the various vases found here and a bench with 2 embedded pithoi. The staircase continues on to the top floor, where only 1 room was located and was about the same size as the intermediate room. The staircase continued up to the roof, and in this part of the house it was believed that the staircases were actually made out of wood and indicated that this was a well-used and busy area of the house. A Riken lion cub vessel, similar to the one in the Museum of Thera, was located here. These vessels had 1 opening to pour liquid in and another to let it out, in this case through the lion's mouth. Thank you for joining History Victorum as we explored the West House in Akrotiri on the Greek island of Santorini. Explore other locations with us in these videos here.